Welcome back, everybody, to Game 2. This is Senex,
And this is Paul.
and we see that LuckyFool is continuing his battle against GoSuViBe, trying to come back from that one very fast defeat that he suffered in Game 1. The all-in from Vibe dealing extreme amounts of damage right in the beginning.
Yeah, Vibe just, he really had the build that he needed to deal with reacted Hellions. And I've got to say, as a Terran player, that build has very much owned me before. Vibe obviously showing it off in a higher level match than your typical diamond play that you would see from me. And it still works up there.
Yeah, so as we look at this new map, which is a very interesting choice, but well, I shouldn't say new map, but it's a different map that nrgLuckyFool shows. It's Tal'Darim Altar, but the 6 mineral and 1 high yield gas FRB version is not the same as your standard ladder map. As we can see, just as the SEV is building the supply depot, there's a ramp leading into your natural, so it's a little bit easier to defend against super early aggressive things. There's also no rocks at the third, so it's easier to continue expanding around the map.
Yes, indeed. Those no rocks make it so much easier for you to be able to take your third. And I've got to say, as a Terran player, I'm just so lazy about taking out rocks. I'm just like, man, I don't want to move my units over there because I could get attacked. And, I just like not having to deal with the rocks there. And actually, I want to think that the GSL version of this map doesn't have rocks there as well. But I'm not sure on that. Someone can maybe confirm it for me. But that is how it is in FRB. Does this look like This looks like Vibe is actually going for his hatch first, not choosing to get a spawning pool. Is just going to kind of take a more economic stance in this game. And LuckyFool not getting his gas once again.
Yeah, definitely going for that kind of gasless expand style. The Vibe has the perfect response to it. He's just immediately going for the no spawning pool expand. And it looks like he's actually going to get a pretty good scout, this Overlord, going in the right direction the first time, and we'll be able to very easily swoop on into LuckyFool's base to see exactly what's up.
Yeah, quite lucky for our Zerg player, and actually LuckyFool is in a really good position to do a bunker rush. So I would love to see him do a bunker rush here against our Zerg player. He has scouted that Zerg is over here in a relatively short walking distance from his base, and he is sending out that Marine now. He's actually rallying it just to the ramp, so I'm not going to get my bunker rush. I'm so disappointed. I don't even think I can cast for the rest of the night.
That's unfortunate. However, I will be continuing to cast and do my best. I also do some very good ventriloquism, so everything that you hear Paul say from now on is actually me just mimicking his voice. So
nice. Yeah, so it does look like GoSuViBe finishing up that spawning pool and now moving 3 of his drones into the gas. So we'll be getting his speed upgrade without a doubt. And we'll see where he takes it from there, getting the queen, of course, and actually make that a second queen, as is standard for all Zergs to do. And the LuckyFool gonna go ahead and grab that expansion, as well as build another bunker. Wow.
yeah, you're absolutely right, me. And must I say how much you sound like Pull, as though he was still here with us. That bunker is going to be very, very important because he knows that his opponent is not afraid to just 100% all in him, and he definitely needs the defense to handle that. I would really like to see him add on some kind of additional unit producing structures of any kind, really.
Yeah.
To go for some kind of tech, to go for maybe some more bunkers, something, or I'm sorry, some more barracks, just something, because, like, once again, the attack won't be coming yet, but it will be coming moderately soon, and he definitely has the money to do it, though. He actually might be going for a fast third command center.
Well, now he is building a factory.
factory.
Yeah, I was going to say, he is building a factory, so it's likely that he'll go for reactor Hellions again. Of course, I kind of wish that he would just go for a Marine tank, like, early push, because, well, as we can see, Zerg is building his third. It's going to be really vulnerable here for a few minutes. And actually, the positions are so close that if T goes for a Marine tank medevac push, he can do a lot of damage. Zerg's kind of figured that build out a little bit, so you can't really do it on the bigger maps, but this is one that you can still do it on. Of course, you can always siege your tanks up at the low ground over by the natural and just take out a ton of drones that way. So we'll see what LuckyFool does.
Responding to the cheese that he faced earlier, it looks like LuckyFool is going for a little bit of cheese of his own. He has the second factory on the way, which I have to imagine is going to be for even more Hellions. He also has the income to probably support this, though he is mining from that refinery at his natural very, very quickly. So he's going to have a ton of gas he's going to want to do something with. But if he's able to get 2 reactor Hellions, that will put a ton of pressure on his opponent and might transition well into a mech build.
Yeah, so he's going for that react Hellion. Going to get a ton of Hellions out here. And, of course, Mech in this position is another build that's really strong. So anything involving tanks when you don't have a ton of ground to cover for defense is going to be pretty strong. Now, it does look like LuckyFool is actually building another bunker up here, so just kind of showing the fact that he's going for attack. Of course, I don't think Zerg is actually going to scout that for a little bit. And the Overlord actually, yeah, okay, I was going to say, the Overlord did actually make it into the base of Terran and does know that there are currently 2 factories, one with a tech lab and one with a reactor.
I have to think this is going to be for Blue Flame, or no, actually immediately starting Siege Tech, so definitely going for that kind of Siege Tech-oriented play that you just mentioned. There's also obviously that sweet spot on Tel'Darim Altar that you can siege up outside of their natural, so long as you can get high ground vision, which you probably need a starport of some kind for, or to do just a Hellion run-by, he can siege the natural of GoSuViBe, deny mining, and eventually just kill it off.
Yeah, and unfortunately there, I don't know if you saw that, but our Terran player got supply blocked for quite a little while. He was actually forced to make 2 supply depots just to get caught up, and it looks like he's currently caught up here. But that siege tank is going to be a little bit delayed, longer than he wants it to be. And actually he's building another command center here, so definitely going to go for mech. I would be surprised to see an armory here pretty soon, as he does have that third being built right now.
Unfortunately, this just really isn't the smoothest build ever. That's a little bit of a pause right there. So we do see that he has about 700 gas and really just no ability to spend it. He could definitely throw down like 2 more factories and start churning out tons of siege tanks, or even move into Thor's other kind of nasty units that's very hard for Zerg players to deal with. But right now, he just has this enormous bank and really can't quite spend it.
Yeah, I'm kind of I'm just trying to decide how I feel about the build that Terran's going for here. With FRB. I think we can just analyze that a little bit later, as I do have some things to say about it. He is currently researching his Infernal Pre-Igniter, which is Blue Flame, for those of you that don't know, and getting that armory up, so we'll be going for attack upgrades, I'm sure, as well as Thor. And actually, a bunch of Hellions coming in here to the 3rd base, and all there is to deal with this are Zerglings right now. 2 Riches are in production, and with the Queen, we'll maybe be able to hold this off. Of course, these Zerglings are just getting toasted so well by our Terran player, and actually, I don't think he even lost a single Hellion right there.
Yeah, very, very good unit retention from LuckyFool. He's now taken a small supply advantage. And when we just look at the production tab, though, Vibe is making a whole bunch of roaches. Also has his upgrades on the way, the 2nd attack underway, and his his roach speed. Right now, though, there is only 2 siege tanks on the field, so the Hellions are going to be very effective against any light units, but they're going to have to at least be good meat shields and probably just be generally supported by a whole bunch more siege tanks. We do see now 1 more factory on the way, and another one just completing the tech lab, so I do think that a whole bunch of more siege tanks will be joining the field.
Yeah, that 1 attack upgrade is being produced by our Terran player, and Zerg, actually, interesting enough, sticking to 3 bases right here. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I think he's probably a little bit scared that LuckyFool is going to come for an attack, and wants to make sure that he has, make sure that he has enough of an army to deal with it. Although I think that he could probably take a 4th pretty easily if he wanted to. I guess it's just kind of a stylistic difference here.
Yeah, right now, LuckyFool's in a very good position, actually. The Zerglings are not going to fare very well against this huge number of Blue Flame Hellions. They ate a whole bunch of siege tank shots in the way. That was actually a really unfortunate thing for GoSuViBe. As we look at the units right now, he only has 5 Zerglings and 13 Roaches against this actually fastly growing force.
Yeah, and it does look like GoSuViBe was able to take out a couple tanks, which is really nice. If you can keep those tank numbers down. Of course, oh my god, these Blue Flame Hellions are actually doing a lot of damage to these Roaches. Of course, Vibe is in a pretty good position. It's going to be able to take out as many Hellions as he possibly can, and actually the SCVs here are even attacking the Roaches as well. Surprisingly enough, Vibe is doing pretty good damage in this attack, I gotta say.
Yeah, he's actually managed to deal far more than I'd anticipated originally, sneaking in all of those Roaches through the main. A whole bunch more Zerglings are coming in, and they're really at a bad angle to deal with these Blue Flame Hellions. A whole bunch of SCVs being pulled off the line just to repair, though there might be too many Zerglings overall to defend this.
Yeah, and these tanks are just not going to do anywhere near enough damage to Zerglings, as they are just so attacked, and a Thor is completed right now. Now, Vibe needs to be really careful not to lose that Thor. It does look like the Zerglings are getting cleaned up and actually going to try to come back in here, but decide not to. Not going to be enough units for Zerg to, and I guess that's, that's why he didn't go for a 4th base. He's now building his 4th base. He wanted to get that timing attack, and man, I'm really surprised he did just so much damage.
Yeah, right now there's been 22 workers killed and a little bit more harassment going on the third base of LuckyFool, though it wasn't quite able to deal probably the damage that the
Right.
investment cost. There is the fourth command center on the way that's almost at the same time as that fourth hatchery. So as we look at the supplies, in fact, GoSuViBe is now starting to rebuild this force, and even with these additional 15 drones that he's adding in, it's still a very, very significant supply advantage for LuckyFool, and he's continuing to make this mech death ball that when it gets too large, is almost impossible to stop.
Yeah, almost impossible indeed. And now I just want to revisit what I was gonna say. If Vibe had gone for his fourth base instead of that attack, he would be able to outmass Terran probably a lot easier than he's going to be able to do now. He lost so much. He took out a lot, but he just lost so much that they basically traded armies. And actually, we do see another attack here going on for Vibe, trying to go for these workers. Of course, these Hellions and tanks are going to be sieged up, and I'm pretty sure these roaches are going to get cleaned up pretty quickly without doing too much damage to our Terran player.
15 Mutalisks are joining the field,
Ooh.
though, and that's going to be a definite stress on LuckyFool. He does have Thors in place to try to deal with them, but he's really going to need to pay attention, get repairs when he has to. So right now, he does not even have an engineering bay. I do not believe... does he? Yes, he has one engineering bay, but only one turret. It's going to be very hard for him to deal with this new air threat.
Now, he does have Thors in his main base, and actually, if he could keep that one Thor up there by his worker line and keep a Thor probably at each base, he'd be okay. But actually, it looks like LuckyFool is going for an attack here. Now, these mutas are going to do so much damage to just one Thor. All he has to do is target it down, and the rest of LuckyFool's army will just completely melt to the muta attacks. And I'm not sure about this decision to push out with just one Thor.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think this is really premature. He might be able to do a ton of damage to the drone lines. He's moving in with a huge number of Blue Flame Hellions, but with seriously only one unit that can go in and try to deal with the air units, it's not going to be easy for him to handle this counterattack.
Yeah, these Hellions have made it into the main base and actually leaving the tanks a little bit vulnerable right there. Of course, there are some Hellions over here at the natural, and our Terran player is doing a lot of damage to the economy of GoSuViBe, but where are those mutas at?
The huge magic box over the Thor right now. They immediately take it out, and right now this army of LuckyFool is guaranteed to die, and he just needs to do as much damage with it as he possibly can. He is, however, inflicting some pretty serious damage. It's now almost even in workers, but I'm really worried that overall the trade will not be effective enough.
No, anytime you say trade and mech army together, it's just kind of like, it's not going to be good because you just can't lose your mech army. You just cannot lose it. Repair or do something to keep it alive, but if you lose it, you're going to be so far behind, and that is exactly where LuckyFool is right now. It does look like GoSuViBe is moving in with his mutas and going to go ahead, take out these turrets, and, I mean, there's not really much that LuckyFool can do.
Yeah, there are two Thors that are just now joining the field. A really big volley that deals quite a bit of damage to all these Mutalisks. But once again, as soon as he knows that the Thors are on the field, just moves right in magic boxes. And a bit of an unfortunate repair position right there, not really able to get the surround of the workers he needed. And once again, the second the Thor pops out, right now the production structure is just being camped by GoSuViBe. And the second anything pops out that might help LuckyFool, it's immediately killed.
Yeah, and wow, our Terran player is in such a scary position and goes ahead and GG's out of the game. Alright guys, well, thanks for tuning in to that one. We do have some more games coming up here pretty soon. Who are they going to be against the next?
It is going to be Vile Illusion, who's the only random player in this tournament, but has been showing his mastery of, like, every race. Also, for those who don't know, I read a very interesting article on Team Liquid that Vile Illusion, like, if the last IPL, everybody thinks, like, oh, man, the Koreans came in and totally dominated. Vile Illusion, in, like, the open brackets, slaughtered people. The list of his kills is unbelievable. Go check that out. Go see what this guy's been doing recently. I have been stunned at the quality of this play. He killed like 3 code-ass Koreans in the open brackets. I can't remember the names right now, but I was just blown away. So I'm so stoked to have him in the tournament. Also playing random, so we get some really interesting games from him. He's going to be going against Convergence Gaming's Fitzy here.
Yeah, really excited to see how this game does play out. We're going to take a little bit of a break, and we will be right back.